Hello there. I am very excited to see you today. I wanted to demo something for you that I pre-recorded. I actually tried to do a live for this last night, but it did not work because basically I had to stream from my phone to the computer, and the computer could not do that and live stream and have it be remotely synced up. But so without having terrible lag, I'd pre-recorded it, and even then it really pushes things to have things sync up perfectly. So I did the best I could, but I wanted to show you and walk through what's happening when I actually play the video. It's just under 4 minutes on screen. But let me briefly explain. So what I'm going to demo is actually using something called the Inner Balance by HeartMath. HeartMath is an institute out of the United States that focuses on the studies of the heart and how developing heart-centered techniques and how to create and leverage what's called coherence. And I'm actually going to go into coherence on the pre-recording for you. And basically, besides the actual explanation of the technique and such, this is a two-part thing. This, as you see, has like clips. It actually clips to your ear, and then this, you turn it on and it talks to the phone via Bluetooth. And then what happens is the thing that clicks to your ear measures your heart rate variability, which is essentially the differences in peaks and valleys as you inhale and as you exhale. And as you inhale and exhale, depending if the body's in a stress state or kind of a chill out, relaxed state, which is called coherence, the heart rate variability changes. And when the body is in a consistent level heart rate variability for 5 minutes or more, there are 6 hours of the body healing itself after, because it is no longer in the fight or flight state, it's actually in the rest and digest state. So this is a very powerful technique, very effective, and what I'm going to show you today is the video of me actually doing this. So on screen you see the Inner Balance. So this was a transfer from my phone to this, so you can actually see what's going on. So this is just an app that talks to this device, okay? So these are just the various screens, and then I'll pause it if needed. So what it's going to first do is, when I say go, it's going to look for the Bluetooth device, and once it finds it, it's then going to listen for the heartbeat. First I have to tell it my mood, because one of the ways to let the person know that there's an improvement in how they feel is to do a before and after kind of mood analysis. So it is calibrating the heart rate now, but if you look at this little multicolor rainbow flower, you see it kind of has a slow pulse in and out. And then what it's doing is it's basically giving you a count to inhale and exhale, like a bellow. And if you see on top of the screen, there is that's actually my heart rate variability on the top. So what's also happening is now, okay, and this is just a different screen. I'm going to pause here real quick. So on both screens, you'll see this red circle, or this circle. The circle will change colors. And then what the circle represents is there's a red, blue, and green. Blue means I'm in moderate range coherence, and green means I'm actually in coherence. The program itself has different levels of difficulty. I'm actually using the higher level of difficulty version of it. So be forewarned that if you were to try this yourself, it would really be challenging, but it's a skill that you can actually develop to create coherence. So again, the benefits of coherence are you can naturally have a low stress state, you can feel amazingly calm, you can feel very centered, it makes you very heart-centered. It can eliminate anxiety and PTSD. It's been proven to do so in studies, as well as really probably the biggest benefit, it puts your body in the healing state. So people who have aches and pains, that your body has the ability to heal itself, but once it's in the rest and digest state, it can begin to actually heal itself. So again, now on this, I replayed this, restarting it. You'll see here it now has an up and down, and all this is a pace. And The studies have shown that an inhale and an exhale of 6 seconds in and 6 seconds out, it needs to be the same pace, is something that you can train. And the 6 and 6 is what they have found that children most typically do naturally. And when they as they do this, children are very much in a coherent state. They don't have stress. But what you're going to notice, if you look at the graph on the top of the screen, you're going to see that it's starting to look almost like a regular nice sine graph, a nice level ups and downs. And the program, how it judges if you're in coherence is it looks at this entire screen of data, and then when it has a certain average of your actual heart rate going up and down, the variability going up and down, it'll improve your score. So, okay, now you see blue, I'm in coherence I'm in mid-level coherence, not true coherence yet, but it's improving from the red. Okay, so the values up and down, again, they represent I'm finally in coherence. So, and again, this is the high level difficult. This took me literally months of practice to be able to get into. They have 4 levels of difficulty, and this is the 4th level. So it took me months to get here, but within probably 10 minutes of practice yourself, you probably could get into at least on the 1st level. Don't be discouraged. It just takes practice. And if you know me at all, I'm very calm and centered, so it's probably easier for me than most. Okay, so they have different screens. So we've already done. This is the 3rd screen, and the only difference between this is you see the heart rate variabilities are there on the top. The little thing going back and forth is just saying inhale and exhale, and then the little circle has the color if I'm in or out of coherence. The screen, the image here, and you can change the image, is an image that's designed to bring calmness to you, and the color lavender apparently has benefits of creating a sense of well-being and ease in people. So this is this screen, and okay, now here's the last screen, and if it goes out of this, I'm going to rewind. So let me go through all the various parts with you. So let me pause this because there's not too much time left in recording. Okay, so on the very, very top, you see the actual, coherence. So there's an actual score, which is the amount of coherence you're actually in. I think the highest level of coherence I've actually personally been in is around 11 or so. Length is just the length of time I've done it. And the achievement, what they do is they actually create points. And people do this around the world all the time. This is a very, 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 millions of people do coherence breathing every day and submit their information to the app. And you can actually look at it and see how many people worldwide at any one time and how many people are submitting, highest average, etc., etc. But the achievement is literally just to gamify doing the coherence. So, all right. So this HRV here represents the heart rate variability. So you see on every inhale and exhale, it is the peaks and trough differentiation of the exhale and the inhale. So it's about 10 beats. And you see on my exhale, I'm about 50 beats per minute, and on the peak, I'm probably 65. And again, that's not my heart being going 60 and 50. It's the difference in the peaks and valleys, which is just minuscule differences in heart rate measured by those, not specifically the average over a long extended period of time. And you can feel that, when you exhale, things kind of calm down, and when you inhale, you kind of stress out. Okay, below this, you'll see when I started, remember I was out of coherence when I started this recording. Apparently 4 is out of coherence, and then 4 to 6 is that mid-level, and then true coherence is 6 and above, and the highest I've reached apparently is around 8 on this particular graph. And as time goes on, it continues. Now I'm going to scroll down. Good. So the spectrum is basically looking at your heart. So I think it's a spectrograph for your heart, and then the pulse is within some sort of time frame, your beats per minute of your heart rate. So that's all this is. So it goes over this. And what you're going to find is, and you notice it jumped to 60, to down to 53, and that's just the inhale-exhale change. And then all this thing does is test that over time. So what's amazing, as I said, and there are a little more things than purely just breathing, but you can start with just the breathing. But what this will do is, if and when you practice the technique, and again, it's more than just breathing, but start with breathing, do 6 and 6, get a counter. You can't use this app unless you have, there's 3 devices you can plug into this, and they're 150 to 200 US in that range. So this little thing here, I think is about 150. There's a lot going on here. So, and there's another one, and the great thing about that one is you can hook it up to any phone, Android or iPhone. The other one, the original one, they had just hooked up to iPhone, and I don't have that with me right now, but it is another option. So the objective with this is, when you look at the green part of the screen, is to stay in coherence for 5 minutes or longer. So stay within that for 5 minutes or longer. And again, the benefits to your body are that your body will actually experience healing over the next, I believe it's 8 hours, 6 to 8 hours. I can't remember which. But if you ever want me to actually teach you the full technique, because it's more than just breathing, but it's 3 or 4 points really. But once you begin practicing, I would actually encourage you get this, because that way you can actually get to the different levels and make it something that you can actually make part of your daily practice. It's literally probably the most profound tool I have learned, and I spend a lot of time and a lot of resources to find what is really powerful. So this is legitimately very powerful stuff, because who wouldn't like to not experience stress in their life? Who wouldn't like things to feel easy again? So that's what this gives you the capability. So any questions you have on coherence, let me know. If you would like yourself or your team to learn this and the entire technique around it, I do it all the time for coaching clients. So if it's something you would like yourself and you'd like to learn how, just let me know. We'll schedule a coaching session and we'll do it. It's well worth your time, and you'll begin to feel it after about 4 or 5 minutes. I want to be honest with you, because you're not used to doing it. Your body's more than likely in a very high stress state. It's very challenging for most people to get into coherence into about minute 6 or 7. So that's when you start feeling it. And as you begin feeling what is represented by this beautiful sign chart, as you begin doing it and feeling it, you'll find yourself calm. Almost like, for me, it feels like my face is like melting. The stress is literally melting off my shoulders. I feel my head relax. It's a really tremendous feeling. So any questions, I welcome them. And again, if you have the desire to learn this yourself, I'd be more than happy to teach you in a coaching session. And again, it's more complex than just this, but I actually am certified to teach it, so I would be happy to do so. Thank you so much.